Well, good afternoon. How good is this? Welcome to the Class of 2026 White Coat Ceremony. Personally, I am thrilled you're here. My name is Guy Lonergan. I serve as the Dean of the School of Veterinary Medicine. We are joined today on the stage by the Mayor, Mayor Cole Stanley, and his amazing wife, Shiloh, in the audience. We also have Associate Dean for Academic and Student Affairs, John Descanio, Dr. Shelley Wolfe, Associate Dean Britt Conklin, Dr. Nancy Carter of TVMA, Associate Dean Annalise Wynn, and Associate Dean Ryan Williams. Today is a solemn ceremony. It marks something very special in the progress, in the journey of our students' career. But it is also a joyous celebration, so I hope everyone has come ready to celebrate a wonderful day and a wonderful achievement of these students. So with that, I would like to welcome the Mayor of Amarillo to the stage, Mayor Cole Stanley.
Wow. Thank you, Guy. Thank you so much for that wonderful welcome. I'm truly honored to be able to give a word of encouragement and a very heartfelt thank you. If you guys knew how truly good you look from up here, what a beautiful audience. I love the fact that you guys are represented so well in your families. And so here in Amarillo, we feel like you've made a choice. We feel like you chose to become part of the Amarillo family, the Panhandle of Texas family. We have our own spirit here. We love the fact that you've become part of the Texas Tech Vet School family. And so with this, I think that it takes quite a bit of faith and a little bit of trust. You know, these professors and these individuals, I call them impactors. You've put your faith and your trust in them and allowed them for the last 3 years to truly impact your life. And you'll take that impact and you'll go back to your community, or hopefully you'll stay here, and you'll impact the lives of the families that you're around, both in the help from helping those individuals when it's late at night and you're the only one that could come, or from just saving that animal or working through day-to-day business. So to your friends and your relatives, I want to give you a very heartfelt thank you here today. Thank you for choosing us. And with that, I'd like to give you a word of encouragement. James 1:2, consider it pure joy, brethren, when you face trials of various kinds. For you know that the testing of your faith develops perseverance. Perseverance must have its complete work, so that you may be mature and complete, lacking absolutely nothing. What a mission and a vision statement for the Texas Tech Vet School to truly walk out with you. When you get done here, after one more year, After you're through with those clinicals, wearing that white coat, you'll be mature and complete, lacking nothing. You will have been invested in and poured in and mentored and educated like nowhere else. But it was the testing of your faith, not only in the institution, but in yourself, where you had to persevere. When that time came and you were truly overwhelmed, thinking, I don't know that I can continue. I want to quit. I want to go home. When that time came that you had a family issue back home, maybe mom, dad, grandma, well, should I leave? Should I put my dream on hold? Should I go back home? You persevered. Maybe that time was for your own health, where you thought, well, it may not be this outcome that I'm looking for. You had developed your faith not only in yourself, but in those around you. And ultimately, I think you have an eternal perspective, much like mine, as I give you a scripture that we get to live our lives both under and by. So I love the fact that you guys have persevered and will continue to persevere. And I would encourage you here today to continue to put your faith in those good men and women that are seated to your left and your right, and those people in this community, and especially those people in this institution. We love our Texas Tech vet family. Thank you so much for having us here. What a glorious day to get to be with you. May God truly bless you in everything that you do from here on. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mayor Stanley, and really thank you for all you've done for the vet school, for continuing to support what we do, both in this community and in the profession in general. My name is Dr. Britt Conklin, and I actually serve as the Associate Dean for the clinical program. So students are migrating to our office. We've got a great team, and we're excited to get to see all of the adventures they're about to experience. Students, family, friends, guests, faculty, it's really good to see all of you here. We want to welcome you to our commissioning ceremony. It's a pretty symbolic ceremony, as Guy kind of mentioned. It really represents your transition from preclinical work to the real world, from essentially the class to the clinic, and from preparation into practice. And that's an exciting time. We're all excited to see the metamorphosis your lives are about to embark upon and the journey you're about to travel. Your cocoon, all right, what you've been in is kind of about to open, and kind of that first light's fixing to hit you, and we're going to get to expose that to the world. And so we're excited as all of the folks at Texas Tech to see what you're going to do out there in the real world. So the place you've made home, okay, this is where I grew up. The last 3 years, it really could be viewed in the light of history as a new place, a modern community, in the scope of full history, if you think about it. And what often hindered early settlers from actually, making it here on these vast prairies, obviously besides a 75-degree day and then 4 inches of snow today, and maybe not wanting to be here, but the reality is it was accessing water, a reliable water source. So today you'll be presented with a coin, and on one side of that coin is the seal of the veterinary school. And that seal reflects a noble profession, and I think most of you know it's one of the most noble professions on the planet. And you're about to embark on the next step to maintain that reputation. On the other side is a depiction of a windmill. Some people often ask, why is there a windmill up there? Why does the coin have a windmill on it? And it's a windmill really that's reflective of what these vast prairies were pretty replete with for a long time. And they were key to paving the way for communities like we see here. Windmills have been used throughout civilization for various purposes, for pumping water, as we think about it, grinding grain, and now today producing electricity, right? So it may seem odd, students, but you and the windmill are tasked with similar functions, okay? And that's why it's on the coin. A windmill is tasked with flourishing in an often challenging environment. They're built to capture the wind and transform that energy into life-altering products like water or electricity. You guys are the same. You may not realize it, but your profession, almost like Cole's verse there, comes with challenges. In some environments, may require you to be a stable, solid structure that works to turn those challenges into life-altering services. Think about that, okay? Windmills pull from resources that don't appear readily available, okay? You look out there, you don't know where they're pulling from, but they're drawing from a deep well. And you need to look around the room and realize that we have a large well to draw from. You have a network of people around you. You've got family here, you've got friends here, you've got faculty here, you have this community here, you have a vet school that's behind you. And so your well is deep and your resources are vast. And I want you to remember that when you're on a solitary rotation, all right, out in a rural community and you feel alone. You have a deep well, you have resources, you have a community, and you have people behind you. So remember what that coin symbolizes. Windmills for me are also interesting when you look at them out in a pasture. They really represent community, and communities thrive around them. Now, what am I talking about? Well, if you think about out on a prairie, at the foot of a windmill, you're going to find congregation, all right? You're going to find conversation. It may not be human conversation. It may be animal conversation. And you're going to find that community. At the base of a water source, oftentimes is the most relaxed group of animals. They're conversing, they're having a good time, and there's often a lot of entertainment around them. Small communities that you go to, it's part of our mission and a part of who we are. Those small communities and the veterinary practices in them are very similar, okay? They're places of local congregation. They're places where you'll find conversation. And if you're in a veterinary practice, you know that you're going to find a lot of entertainment as well. And it's great entertainment for a small community. You guys are about to experience this, and as your clinical dean, I encourage you to see your clinical year through the lens of a windmill. Harness the challenges, transform your environment, and reach for that deep well to deliver life-altering products to your patients and the profession. So enjoy your journey. It's going to be fun, and show be due, class of 2026. At this time, I would like to introduce our keynote speaker, Dr. Shelley Wolf. Dr. Wolf is a small animal veterinarian from Lubbock. She's a dear colleague to the school. She's a former Red Raider, and she is an owner of Live Oak Animal Hospital. Now, that may not mean a lot to a lot of other people out here, but we often joke about Lubbock Live Oak Animal Hospital. If they were a college, they would be the fourth largest feeder college for students that we have. And that's crazy to think that. They send so many students to the university. We admit so many students that they're big is the whole point, all right? In fact, they're so big that they're actually employing 8% of our current graduating class. So class, if you're cycling through Live Oak, all right, you might ought to get to know them. They might be able to, again, one day be an employer of yours. So it's great to have Shelley here. She's been associated with the school since its inception, and she served in numerous roles. She's been a tireless worker and especially dedicated in our admissions process. She's interviewed candidates, and she is one of our core instructional sites for the clinical year. So help me welcome Dr. Shelley Wolf.
Well, thank you, Britt, for that kind introduction. Congratulations, class of 2026, on nearing completion of your preclinical year and receiving your white coat today. May you always view it as the symbol of professionalism and commitment to lifelong learning to which it stands for. Today marks a major milestone in your journey, but it is only the beginning of a path filled with both challenges and triumphs. A heartfelt congratulations, parents, on the success of your sons and daughters. As the mother of a freshly minted 18-year-old, I understand the sacrifices you have made to steward your child to this moment. All the sleepless nights you worried for them when they weren't worried themselves, long days spent at stock shows and county fairs, fee after fee after fee, being begged to keep the next animal, answering endless whys, and trying to stay gentle as they tested you just to see what they could get away with. Trust me when I tell you, they do it to us as professors and clinical instructors as well. We stand in solidarity with you. It truly takes a village. Grandparents, thank you for the vital role you have served in their lives. Many of these students consider you their role models, the people they strive to emulate, and the ones they hope make proud. When they walk across that graduation stage next May, it is you their eyes will be scanning the crowd for. Thank you for your unwavering love, your constant support, and the example you set for them every day. 6 weeks ago, I received an email from Britt asking if I would speak at today's event. The timing found me at a very fragile moment in life where just minutes before I opened the email, I began receiving texts and visits from our current fourth-year students who had just received their results that they had passed their North American veterinary licensing exam, the mountain standing between them and their veterinary license. The day before, our second veterinary clinic had celebrated its 5-year anniversary, opening 6 weeks before COVID shut the world down. The following day, my oldest child would celebrate his 18th birthday. Before I responded to Britt, I picked up my 14-year-old daughter from school, excited that she might offer me her opinion on the invitation, only to have her humble me by saying, "Mom, they asked you to be the motivational speaker?" As Britt introduced, I'm Dr. Shelley Wolf. I'm co-owner of the Live Oak Veterinary Hospital facility in Lubbock, along with my partners, Dr. Eric Cunningham and Dr. Carl Clary. I was born and raised in Lubbock. As the child of a divorced family, I was blessed with 2 moms, 2 dads, and extra grandparents to support and encourage my lifelong dream to become a veterinarian. Growing up, I wasn't the star student or the one always raising my hand in class. I was more of an average student, good at flying under the radar, staying out of the spotlight, and avoiding the front row. When it came to my veterinary education, I made my home in the second to last row of the classroom, just in front of the equine boys. I chose it as my spot, my little corner to stay focused and take it all in. In 2005, I graduated from Texas A&M University with my veterinary degree. And looking back now, I realize that every part of my journey has been a story of perseverance, resilience, and finding my own path. The night before, I was due to sign a contract to work for Swan Animal Clinic here in Amarillo. With the hopes of purchasing the practice in the following years, my husband informed me that he was going to resign from his secure job here in Amarillo so we could build a life in Lubbock. Desperate, I called the veterinarian dad of a high school classmate, and he offered me a position at his small animal practice in Lubbock. 7 years later, after renewing our contracts, we were notified that the practice had been sold to a large veterinary corporation. At a crossroads in my career, uncertain about the next step and what my future would hold, I made the decision to go back to school at night. It would take me 6 years juggling life, 2 young children, a marriage, working 2 jobs, and studying. I pushed through the long nights, the moments of doubt, and the many sacrifices along the way. And in the end, I earned my Master's of Business Administration. That experience taught me not only the power of perseverance, but also the importance of growth, both professionally and personally. Throughout my career, I picked up extra evening and weekend shifts at our local small animal emergency clinic. I spent every last penny I had to buy a book of hospital floor plans and benchmarks. 3 years into the corporate ownership, my partners and I opened Live Oak Animal Hospital in hopes that we would bring back the small business culture and glorify God. Somehow, we convinced around 10 employees and our hospital manager, Chris Resnicek, to join us on this journey with only $3,000 in our bank account and an IOU with the promise they would be the first to get paid. We could not fail at this. With 6 kids and 3 spouses between us, success was our only option. Like the voice in the movie Field of Dreams, if you build it, he will come. Today we have 3 brick and mortar locations, a mobile veterinary clinic, 16 doctors, and 125 employees. As I reflect on my soon-to-be 20-year journey in this career, I have titled today's speech, Reflections from the Left-Handed Side of the Operating Table. As a right-handed surgeon, I have only recently earned this position in the surgical theater, as our clinics have become clinical practice partners with the Texas Tech School of Veterinary Medicine, and we have been entrusting with the teaching of their students. I've discovered that it's harder than it looks, but I've realized my time spent in this industry has qualified me to offer advice from the other side of the table. Much like dog years, veterinary years are the same. I haven't decided what the equivalent of 1 year is, but believe me, it is not 365 days. Recently, I was asked, what qualities do you look for when hiring a new graduate? Having now successfully started 3 practices, 2 boarding facilities, and having employed and mentored thousands of team members, including dozens of veterinary students, I've observed that there are qualities people can express that make them most successful in this industry on both a personal and professional level. If I had to narrow that down to only 2 broad qualities, without hesitation, I would say, be teachable and have an ability to foster community. So why these 2? Together, these qualities shape not just your future as a veterinarian, but also your impact on the people you encounter, clients, teammates, and community alike. Be teachable. The clinical year will be an experience unlike any other you will ever get to have again. Every 4 weeks, you will enter a new practice where you will be able to learn from so many different veterinarians, technicians, and even clientele. Texas Tech has prepared you well for anything the clinical practice partners might ask of you. The class of 2025 has gone before you and paved the way. As I recognize that I am now entering the back half of my veterinary career, I have seen a shift in my perspective. I feel like I will be most impactful teaching students. It's the power of multiplication. There are only so many clients and patients that I can see in a workday. By investing in you, I can multiply my impact. I'm here today because someone took the time to teach me, and I'm confident that each of you has the same potential to pass that knowledge forward. American author of the Dune series, Brian Herbert, once said, "The capacity to learn is a gift. The ability to learn is a skill. The willingness to learn is a choice." There will never be another time in your veterinary career where you will be exposed to so many different ways of thinking, ways of doing things, and so many opportunities to learn. Embrace this to its fullest potential. Make the choice deliberately and with intention, regardless of how you feel in the moment. Stay humble and hungry in your pursuit of knowledge. We each have so much we can teach you, and we are excited for this opportunity. The ability to foster community. At the heart of each of your decisions to enter this profession lies a profound love of animals, coupled with a desire to help improve upon the quality of their lives, support the agriculture industry, and safeguard public health. But let me remind you, while animal care is at the core of what we do, it is the people we serve and work alongside that are the driving force of our profession. This is the North Star that I find myself constantly being guided towards. Our purpose is to care for the people. This is our greatest opportunity for ministry. In order to achieve this goal, we must create a space so safe, so compassionate, so team-oriented that people feel invited in to entrust us with the most sacred and precious things in their lives. I practice in such a way that I hope that as each client reflects upon their day, they think their time spent within Live Oak Animal Hospital was the best interaction they had that day, regardless of the circumstances of their being there. As you enter our practices on your rotations, please keep near to your heart that the people you will spend the next month interacting with have become part of our families. They have built our practices. They are the reason behind our success. They are our story. We ask that you treat them well. My hope and the mission of this school is that you would choose to build your lives at practices in rural and regional areas, that you would plant roots deep and strong, and that you would become community-focused leaders. I faced challenges that I could have predicted, but most were beyond anything I ever could have imagined. To name a handful, I've been given a 3% chance of ever walking again without surgery. I've been told by the leading children's hospital that my young daughter would never be able to live a normal life or care for herself independently. I have lost an employee to suicide. I have lost a colleague to suicide. Had several others diagnosed with cancer, and watched as employees navigated the highs and lows of life, losing pregnancies, delivering healthy babies, graduating from college, getting both accepted and denied from veterinary schools, getting married, getting divorced, and losing loved ones. I've experienced betrayal, had employees lie and steal, doctors received board complaints, and countless attacks on social media. I've suffered multiple unexplained health catastrophes myself, which left me questioning whether I could remain in clinical practice at all. It is the community that I built that has gotten me through it. Relationships are everything. When the wind blows, and it will blow, you'll find strength in the team around you. Your technicians, your front desk staff, your fellow veterinarians, invest in them, appreciate them. When you work as a team, you can weather any storm. Mother Teresa once said, "If you want to change the whole world, go home and love your family." Pour into those closest to you with the same care, attention, and love that you give to your work. At the end of each day, make sure you have enough left in you to share that love and care with your own family, your community, and the people who support you behind the scenes. In closing, I would like to leave you with a challenge. You have 80 days until the start of your clinical year. Use this time to reflect deeply and define for yourself who you want to become, both personally and professionally. Seek guidance from those who inspire you, and don't be afraid to ask the tough questions. Write down your goals, your values, and the kind of veterinarian you want to be. Keep those written words close to your heart. As you navigate your clinical year, put yourself in proximity to those that display the character traits that resonate with you most. Define and understand the qualities you least want to display so you can discern when you spot them. I assure you that you already carry with you the necessary educational background to start this next step in your journey. Texas Tech has prepared you well. We are here to mentor and help strengthen your skill set, but only you can decide if you're going to bring with you a teachable personality and a strong desire to be an impactful and understanding member of your new community. May your journey be full of successful rotations, minimal sleepless nights, and an abundance of moments that remind you why you chose this path in the first place. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Wolf, for all you do for the community, for the school, for the students. Greatly appreciate it. So as you can see, the students and their coders are starting to make their way to the stage. I'm Dr. John Descanio. I'm the Senior Associate Dean for Academic and Student Affairs. My heartfelt congratulations to all of the students. Looking so forward to what you're going to do in life and in the clinical year. As the students make their way to the stage, I'm going to go over just the next part of the program. The students will be accompanied by the person of their choosing who will place their white coat upon them. I'll call the student's name and then tell you a little bit about them. I'll also tell you where they're going to go for their initial clinical rotation. While I'm doing this, the student or a coder will go to the middle of the stage. There's actually an X on the stage. And they're going to have their picture taken at that time. From there, they're going to go to a greeting line. The table that's over there, both Ryan Williams and Annalise Wynn will be giving them a coin, and then they're going to proceed down a congratulatory line. From there, they're probably going to disappear for just a second. They're going to go backstage. Since we got them all dressed up today, we're going to take some headshots of them so that we've got that before they hit the clinical year. So once we hit the last student, it'll probably just take a second for that last student to get back before we'll continue on with our program. All right, so let's go. Are we ready? All right. So what I'm going to ask you to do is just hold your applause until I finish telling you about the student, or else you won't hear all the stuff about them. And then you can hoot and holler all you want to, okay? So our first student is Colin Anderson from Clayton, New Mexico. He's being coded by his father, Monty Anderson, and his first clinical rotation is at the Texas Tech Diagnostic Medicine Rotation. And then they're going to pause for a picture. Good. Just getting it all set up, so. All right. Our next student is JC Biggs from Comanche, Texas. She's coded by her husband, Trent Littlejohn, and her first clinical rotation is at the Deason Animal Hospital. Ashley Blaylock is next from Lindell, Texas. She's being coded by her husband, Lane Blaylock, and her first clinical rotation is at the South Pine Animal Hospital. Justin Burrow is next from Aledo, Texas. He's being coded by Brittany Ellersick, who is a DVM mentor to him. And his first clinical rotation is at the Hopkins County Veterinary Clinic. Jarek Burson from Gainesville, Texas, coded by Dr. Matt Gumelak, who's a DVM mentor, and his first clinical rotation is at Colonial Park Veterinary Hospital. All right, make sure you flip your hair out. Kagan Burkett from Rosevine, Texas, coded by his mother, April Burkett, and he's going to the 4-6s ranch for his first rotation. I think it's the first time the mother ever coded, put clothes on her son, but right, wait for the picture. All right. Shane Butler from Plano, Texas, coded by her mother, Kristen Butler, and going to the diagnostic medicine rotation here at Texas Tech. Tommy Butler III, aka Trey, from Perryton, Texas, being coded by Dr. Scott Martin, DVM mentor, and his first clinical rotation is at the Brazos Valley Equine Hospital in Navasota. Elizabeth Bryan from Ovalo, Texas, coded by Dr. Paul Patton, a DVM mentor. Her first clinical rotation is at Big County Veterinary Clinic. Joshua Cabello from Amarillo, Texas, coded by Dr. Janice Wolf, DVM mentor. His first clinical rotation is the Eagle Pass Veterinary Diagnostic Hospital. Preston Conlon from Knickerbocker, Texas, coded by his father, Philip Conlon. His first clinical rotation is at the Diagnostic Medicine rotation at Texas Tech. Caitlin Crowell from Groover, Texas, coded by Dr. Thomas Latta, DVM mentor and grandfather. Her first clinical rotation is at the Texas Tech Community Practice rotation. Jamie Davies from Fredericksburg, Texas, coded by Dr. Rachel Lurvey, DVM mentor, and her first clinical rotation is with animal imaging. Hannah DeRee from Nacogdoches, Texas, is being coded by Dr. Ronald Loft, a DVM mentor. First clinical rotation is with the Diagnostic Medicine rotation at Texas Tech. Cheyenne Dolch from Montgomery, Texas, coded by Dr. Luis Morales Luna, and her first clinical rotation is at Riata Equine Hospital. Cody Elbow from Spring Branch, Texas, being coded by his friend Scott Fredrickson. His first clinical rotation is with the Diagnostic Medicine rotation at Texas Tech. Annie Everett from Estancia, New Mexico. She's being coded by her mother, Melody Everett. Her first clinical rotation is with a diagnostic medicine rotation at Texas Tech. Up next is Aubrey Fields from Sudan, Texas. She's being coded by her father, Gary Fields. Her first clinical rotation is with the North Texas Veterinary Hospital. Alejandro Franco from Pharr, Texas, coded by his mother, Sylvia Franco. His first clinical rotation is the Van Sant Animal Care Center. Grace Foster from Crosby, Texas, coded by her father, Rodney Foster. Her first clinical rotation is the Crossroads Veterinary Hospital. Nyla Garcia from Edinburgh, Texas. She is coded by her father, Roberto Garcia. Her first clinical rotation is with 113 Equine Hospital. You guys just outdid everybody else. Megan Gatlin from Liberty Hill, Texas. She's coded by her sister, Jordan Gatlin, and her first clinical rotation is with the Circle H headquarters. Paige Gentry from San Angelo, Texas. She's being coded by Dr. Scott Blanton, DVM mentor. Her first clinical rotation is with the mobile veterinary practice here in Amarillo. Carlene Graves from Austin, Texas. She's coded by her husband, Matthew Graves. Her first clinical rotation is with the community practice rotation at Texas Tech. Up next is Hunter Grant from Pittsburgh, Texas, being coded by Dr. Bill Gilbert, DVM mentor. His first rotation is with the Swan Animal Clinic here in Amarillo. Lauren Gutierrez from Las Cruces, New Mexico. She's being coded by her mother, Yvonne Rosales, and her first clinical rotation is the diagnostic medicine rotation at Texas Tech. You're doing better. Baylor Hoffman from Wall, Texas, being coded by his father, Brent Hoffman. His first clinical rotation is with the mobile veterinary practice here in Amarillo. It's there somewhere. There you go. Snowy Harvey from Avery, Texas, being coded by Dr. Scooter Brown, DVM, and her grandfather. First rotation is with the diagnostic medicine rotation at Texas Tech. Ryan Hendershot from Gonzales, Texas, coded by Dr. Kyle Bostic, DVM mentor. His first clinical rotation is with the Chaparral Veterinary Center. Emily Hoffman from Marlin, Texas. She is coded by her father, Fred Hoffman. First clinical rotation is the Brazos Valley Equine Hospital in Salado. Hannah Hooper from Hathaway, Texas, coded by Dr. Edward Johnston, DVM mentor. Her first clinical rotation is with the Live Oak Animal Hospital. Jasmine Hill from Istanbul, Turkey, coded by Dr. John Hill, her father-in-law and a DVM. First clinical rotation is with the Wild West Wildlife Rehab Center. Kayla Justice from Abilene, Texas. She's being coded by her mother, Lisa Jo Jones. Her first clinical rotation is with the Big Spring Veterinary Diagnostic Hospital. Stephanie Ledesma from El Paso, Texas. She's being coded by Dr. Shelley Wolf, and her first clinical rotation is with the Live Oak Animal Hospital. Jenna LeBlanc from East Bernard, Texas, coded by her father, Jay LeBlanc. Her first clinical rotation is at the Hereford Veterinary Clinic. Alexandria Lane from Dickinson, Texas. She's being coded by her husband, Hunter Lane, and her first clinical rotation is with the Big Country Veterinary Clinic. Up next is Denora Mili Leal from Brownsfield, Texas. She is coded by Dr. Denora Leal, DVM, and her mother. And her first clinical rotation is with the Wild Peach Veterinary Clinic in Freeport. Michaela Lyles from Artesia, New Mexico, being coded by her father, Jimmy Lyles. Her first clinical rotation is at the Brock Veterinary Clinic. Caitlin Marr from Victoria, Texas. She's being coded by her father, Justin Marr. Her first clinical rotation is at the Double J Animal Hospital. Our next student is Cole Mao from Columbus, Texas, being coded by his mother, Carolyn Mao. His first clinical rotation is with the South Texas Veterinary Clinic. Up next is Jay Masterson from Hines, Oregon. He is coded by Dr. Luis Morales Luna. His first clinical rotation is at the Texas Tech University Diagnostic Medicine rotation. Caitlin McCauley from Kenny, Texas. She is coded by Dr. Cameron Stout-Donnell, DVM mentor. Her first clinical rotation is with the North Texas Veterinary Hospital. Next, we have Trevor Meyer. He's being coded by Dr. Edmund Meyer Jr. from Hondo, Texas, DVM and his father. His first rotation is with the Deason Animal Hospital. Daniela Mendoza from El Paso, Texas. She is coded by her mother, Amanda Mendoza. Her first clinical rotation is with the Callahan County Veterinary Clinic. They got to unbutton it first. Our next student is Maggie Moe from Hutto, Texas. She is coded by Dr. Brini Smith, DVM mentor. First clinical rotation is with the Washington Animal Clinic. Next student is Bailey Montgomery from Southlake, Texas. She is coded by Dr. Shem Oliver, DVM mentor. Her first clinical rotation is with the Riata Equine Hospital. Araya Mora from Wiggins, Colorado. She is coded by Dr. Greg Veneklassen, a DVM and her mentor. Her first clinical rotation is with the Swan Animal Clinic here in Amarillo. Juliana Norell from Venus, Texas. She's coded by Dr. Craig Jones, DVM mentor. Her first clinical rotation is with the Hansford County Veterinary Hospital. Andrea Paredes from Pharr, Texas. She is coded by her father, Jesus Paredes. Her first clinical rotation is at Hereford Veterinary Clinic. Up next is Bentley Payne from Cato Mills, Texas. She is coded by Dr. Trista Mills, one of our professors, a DVM mentor. Her first clinical rotation is with the community practice rotation, which Trista happens to lead, at Texas Tech. Up next is Rhett Payne from Ovalo, Texas. He's coded by his father, Kit Payne. First clinical rotation is at the Ashland Veterinary Center in Kansas. Macy Pickering from Amarillo, Texas. She is coded by Dr. Kelly Dodson, DVM mentor. Her first clinical rotation is at the Terry County Veterinary Hospital. Up next is Brooke Pritchard from Albuquerque, New Mexico. She is coded by Dr. Michelle Basir, DVM mentor. First clinical rotation is at the Van Sant Animal Care Center. Our next student is Alexandria Popek from Brock, Texas. She is coded by Dr. Jeff Foland, mentor DVM. Her first clinical rotation is with the Town and Country Animal Hospital. Up next is Taylor Rankin from Bullard, Texas. She is being coded by our own Margaret Hodge in honor of Jerry Hodge. And her first clinical rotation is with the Henderson Animal Care Hospital. Micah Rainey from Beatty, Texas. She's being coded by her mother, Joylyn Rainey. Her first clinical rotation is with the Deason Animal Hospital. Our next student is Tate Reininger from Tyler, Texas, being coded by his mother, Patricia Reininger. His first clinical rotation is with the diagnostic medicine rotation at Texas Tech. Haley Ritchie from Bowie, Texas. She's being coded by her father, Jason Ritchie. Her first clinical rotation is with Signature Equine. Up next is Phoebe Rickner from Grants, New Mexico. She's being coded by her father, Brian Rickner. Her first clinical rotation is with the Arden South Animal Clinic. Rayleigh Roomer from Rio Vista, Texas. She's being coded by Dr. Craig Jones, DVM mentor. Her first clinical rotation is with the Brock Veterinary Clinic. Up next is Reagan Ruiz from Corpus Christi, Texas. She's being coded by her husband, Rolando Ruiz. First clinical rotation is with the Animal Medical Center here in Amarillo. Up next is Victoria Saenz from Weslaco, Texas. She is coded by Hector Saenz Jr., her father. Her first clinical rotation is with the Brazos Valley Equine Hospital. Next is Ty Salisbury from Willis Point, Texas. He's being coded by his father, Jason Salisbury. First clinical rotation is with the Brazos Valley Equine Hospital. Next is Taya Schwinning from Dripping Springs, Texas. She's being coded by Dr. Michelle Basir, DVM mentor. Her first clinical rotation is at Live Oak Animal Hospital South. Next, we have Cullen Sorrells from Dalhart, Texas. He is coded by Dr. Michael Atha, DVM mentor. His first clinical rotation is at the 4 Sixes Ranch. Kira Strong is next from Amarillo, Texas. She is coded by Dr. Robert Ballinger, DVM mentor. Her first clinical rotation is the Critter Care Veterinary Clinic in Childress. Next is Keegan Taylor from Taos, New Mexico. He is coded by his wife, Eden Taylor. His first clinical rotation is with the Critter Care Veterinary Clinic in Childress. Next is Kendall Terry from Cleburne, Texas. She is coded by Dr. Peyton Delarue, DVM mentor. Her first clinical rotation is with the Fredericksburg Equine Veterinary Service. Krista Teleke from Cedar Park, Texas, coded by her mother, Sandra Teleke. Her first clinical rotation was with the Callahan County Veterinary Clinic. Next, we have Layla Thies from Amarillo, Texas. She is coded by her husband, Christian Thies. Her first clinical rotation is at the Wild West Wildlife Rehab Center. Next is Dakota Valenson from Brock, Texas. She's coded by her mother, Lynn Valenson. And her first clinical rotation is with the Hill County Animal Emergency Hospital. Next is Angelique Velasquez from Gainesville, Texas. She's coded by her mother, Jennifer Mercer, and her first clinical rotation is with the Animal Imaging Clinic. Brianna Varnell Perez from Lubbock, Texas, coded by her father, Matthew Varnell. Her first clinical rotation is at the South Plains Veterinary Clinic. Next, we have Alexandra Vaughn from Richmond, Texas. She is coded by her father, Jim Vaughn, Esquire. Her first clinical rotation is at the 113 Equine Hospital. Next is Victoria Villanueva from McAllen, Texas. She's being coded by Nyla Garcia, her best friend. Her first clinical rotation is at Southern Winds Veterinary Services. Keely Wagley from Verdun, New Mexico. She is coded by Dr. Clay Allred, DVM mentor. Her first clinical rotation is at the Buffalo Veterinary Clinic. Up next is Sydney Williams from Paris, Texas. She's being coded by Matt Preston, her high school ag teacher. Okay, cool. First clinical rotation is the Double J Animal Hospital. Elena Williams from Azle, Texas. She is coded by her father, Bobby Williams. First clinical rotation is the Alvarado Veterinary Clinic. Up next is Dakota Zapalak from LaGrange, Texas, being coded by his wife, Dr. Bailey Zapalak, a DVM. First clinical rotation is with the Guadalupe Valley Veterinary Clinic. Our last student today is Samantha Hayda from Andrews, Texas. She's being coded by Dr. Benjamin Hayda, her father, and a DVM. First clinical rotation is with the Hereford Veterinary Clinic. Some extra it's like we did fireworks for the last one. So it's just going to take a second until we get around from the pictures back to their seats. They're going to play a little lovely music for a second. Just like to take this time to really thank all of the staff. So let's give them a big round of applause. And you guys can all be seated now. All right. Looks like we're back. So I'd like to now introduce Dr. Nancy Carter. She's the president-elect of the Texas Veterinary Medical Association, and she will reaffirm with the students the oath they took at orientation in the first year. Dr. Carter?
Thank you.
It's over for you.
I want to send greetings to all of you from the Texas Veterinary Medical Association. We are your family when you get out. We're your family right now, but especially after you graduate, we're there for you to help with pretty much anything. So if you need to have a question, call that office and we will find an answer for you. And I also want to reaffirm that you guys are fixing to have a great year. Please keep your mind open as you go through each rotation, because you may find that you are not going to do what you thought you were going to do 2 years ago. And it's okay. It's a good thing. You keep your passion, find that passion and follow it, and that will make things a whole lot better and easier for you as you go through this great profession. This is the best job ever, ever. And it's a great time to be a veterinarian. So hold that in your thoughts when things are hard, because they will get that way, but it will be fine. You've got the great background now, and you're going to go out there and learn practical things, and you're going to make all of your family and friends proud. So, students, please stand. Raise your right hand and recite after me. Being admitted as a professional veterinary medical student at the Texas Tech University School of Veterinary Medicine, I promise to develop my scientific and medical knowledge and skills so that upon graduation, I benefit society through the protection of animal health, the relief of animal suffering, the conservation of animal resources, the promotion of public health, and the advancement of medical knowledge. Throughout my time here as a professional veterinary medical student, I will foster the school's core values and conduct myself with dignity and professionalism, and in keeping with the principles of veterinary medical ethics. Today, I reaffirm and publicly commit to a lifelong journey that includes an obligation of continual improvement of my professional knowledge and competence. Okay, that's it. Congratulations.
Thank you so much, Nancy. Congratulations, students. I am so very excited for you. I'm very proud of you. You have come a long way. You have invested blood, sweat, and tears, and judging by the number of crutches, therapy boots, and scooters around the school, literally blood, sweat, and tears to get to this point. But just think about your journey to get here. Not every one of you got into vet school on your first attempt. Some of you had to be told no and go back and try again and maybe again. And then finally you got the call that you're going to vet school. You get to orientation and it's all exciting. Some of you may have even worn a 12th man jersey at orientation. And then anatomy and physiology arrived. We have our anatomists here at the moment, but you made it, right? The journey wasn't easy, but you invested the time to get here. And if you think about the journey, today represents a tremendous individual accomplishment. But none of you got here alone. You had faculty and staff. You had each other. You had community. You had family and friends to lean on. So while today is a great day for you to celebrate, today is a great day for all of us to celebrate with you, and we're excited to be able to do that. And you have experienced much along the way. There have been a lot of celebrations, a lot of good times, the joy of the call that you got a place to school, the joy of orientation, the celebrations along the way. Maybe there was an extremely hard test coming up and you got above 70. And there have been challenges along the way and stressful times. Maybe you didn't pass every exam. And then there's the weather. And you have enjoyed the challenges when things haven't always gone right. And we've all had personal challenges along the way too. But it is precisely those challenges that shine a light on the character of who you are as individuals and who you are as a community. It is those challenges that has helped fortify and chisel that character into what it is today. And it is these challenges that has shone a light on you when you stand tall and fight those challenges. And I get to see the good, the very best of you during those challenges, and it is one of those things that I am most proud of. And when I see it, you make all of us better, and when I see it, you also challenge me to be better. So thank you for that. And now that you're going to step out of the classroom and into the clinic, or that transition from student to clinician, you're going to experience a lot of new things too. You get to practice what you have been developing over the last 3 years. You will have a lot of wins along the way, but there will also be times when it just doesn't go quite right. I'm here to tell you, not every case follows the textbook. That's probably a reason why I'm in academia. And there will be mistakes along the way. So my ask of you today is to approach those challenges and those occasional mistakes with the same way that you have done for the last 3 years, and that is with an attitude. That attitude could be a mistake equals failure, or the mistake is an opportunity to grow and shine and stand tall. So my ask of you is to approach the challenges, the good times, the mistakes with that attitude, that choice of an attitude of I'm going to embrace this to get better, so that it's not just me who sees the very best in you, it'll be the rest of Texas that gets to see the very best of who you are. So celebrate the good times. You will have a lot of successes. Take time and celebrate them and embrace the challenges. Before I wrap up, I think it's worthwhile, and this is a fantastic group of people who have come together to support you. So take a look around and look at the people who are here to support you. And more than supporters, some people have inspired you. So why did you want to become a veterinarian? It may have been something you enjoyed working with animals, but someone nudged you in this direction. Someone pushed you in this direction. Someone may have opened the door to allow you to get to where you are today. Someone may have said, I believe in you. You can do this. It is not that hard. You can make it. Someone may have said, si se puede to you. Maybe you've heard something like this before. Now it is your turn to inspire the next generation of veterinarians. When you're in clinics, there are going to be people who come into that clinic who want nothing more than to be just like you. There are vet techs in those clinics who want to get into vet school. They're where you were years ago. So this is your turn to be able to say, I believe in you. This is something you can do. This is a profession that is made for you. So my charge for you today is simple. Go out and have fun. You've definitely earned it. Enjoy the good times. Stop and celebrate the wins. You will have a lot of wins, and they are worth stopping and celebrating and putting into the memory bank. Embrace the challenges with that attitude of these are an opportunity to grow, to become better, and to stand tall. And then do what you do with passion. If you hone your skills, adopt the right attitude of growing, becoming better, and do what you do with passion, you will inspire the next generation. So congratulations to the class of 2026. I am so very proud of you, and Rechem Tech. So this brings us to the end of today. Thank you everyone for traveling a long way. A lot of you have come a long, long way to be in 36-degree weather. So thank you for coming. Today worked seamlessly. Everything flowed the way it was meant to. And that doesn't happen by accident. So there was a big team of people who have worked for months and months to get this right today. So I want to thank those people who have worked to make this as seamless as possible for you. And I would like to thank the stage party again for being here. Greatly value everyone who has come. Two small logistical questions. Would all of the white coat recipients and their cloakers have a look at your wrist? If you are missing this, I have a prize. Okay, a hand at the back. Good, excellent. And would the class of 2026 please make your way to the stage for a group photo? Thank you all.